Hi, I am a writer, and though writers have rules, they're also rule breakers. And that's lucky because I'm going to break a rule right now and reveal all of the secrets of my latest book. Don't worry, I won't spoil it, and it won't take long, but because I want this to be short, at the end, I'll give you a link to a full 10-minute audio sample of the story, read not by me, but by, and you may have heard of her, the amazing Jamie Tremps. And that itself is worth a listen. So here it is. My book, Somewhere New, by me, Lauren Testa, began as an idea following my dad's funeral. I'm serious, it was a month before, and at the time I was trying to find my own feelings. I knew they were in there somewhere, I just couldn't get to them. My sisters, on the other hand, were very emotional, and I felt their sadness. They'd lost a friend, they lived close by, they did things together. I didn't have that kind of relationship with my dad, but I don't think that was entirely it. Feelings sometimes come to me in slow motion. Maybe it's just weird. Or maybe it's like first responders or doctors or nurses who are conditioned to not expressing feelings in the moment. It's like there needs to be a time for that, but maybe later. So I was there at the funeral, mostly as an observer, a witness, and an empath, feeling everyone's feelings but my own. And I was watching the reactions of my grandchildren since I remembered being at a funeral when I was very young. I remembered the feelings of confusion and separation from the events that were unfolding, but not connecting with me. And I could see that they were having a similar experience. They hadn't had a close relationship with their granddad because mainly they lived far away, almost in another world from his. But they were there at the funeral, trying their best to understand what had happened and what to do about it. Trust me, the last thing I wanted to do was write about the experience of my father's passing or my own feelings. But I did want to write a story based on my observations of grandchildren navigating their world in their own novel ways, through their perspective. They have such a strong bond to each other, brother and sister, discovering and working things out together, and I wanted to show that in a story. The title of that story is Somewhere New. It's about two children, Liana and Trevor, who want to explore somewhere new, somewhere beyond the backyard, somewhere beyond all the places they've ever seen before. So they decided to go to the moon. Even Mom said it's okay. She said she'd even help them. But somewhere between here and there, they meet Karen, a little girl in a wheelchair, who's very ill and unable to go anywhere. Their friendship grows, and Trevor and Liana share the treasures they found while exploring outside, and Liana shares the treasures of her journeys while exploring inside herself. She teaches them the language of the fairies and how to find them, hiding in the reflections of the beauty of nature. Then suddenly, Karen is gone. All that is left are her words and her stories and her love. And with those things, Liana and Trevor show Karen's mom a way through her sadness and loss to the hope of somewhere new. It's a story that's important to all of us. We are fragile and we are strong. It's about somewhere out there and about somewhere in here. We all deserve stories like this, stories based on something real, something true, because we all share that somewhere, something. that's somewhere that these kinds of stories take us. Maybe that's somewhere new for you too. But I should give you a fair warning. Bring your tissues. And that's, well, almost the whole story. There's a little more besides, I guess, but as promised, I kept it short, and I'm including the link to the Audible sample below. And if by chance you'd like to know more about what he says and she says and mom says and what exactly a puppy has to do with all of this, I'll leave some links to the Kindle and paperback versions too. And if you do read it or listen to it, I'd appreciate a review. It doesn't have to be long. And remember, somewhere new may not always be where you expect. It may just be where you already are. It may just be where we already are together. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks for listening, and thanks for reading along.